and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Abby Max. On this week's show, we have this.
Strategic shifts that make a big difference when it comes to improving everyday lives.
And then get ready for a takedown and hopefully a good arrest.
All that and more right here on New Mexico Rising.
Reality TV families come and go, but the Robertsons somehow turned beards, duck calls, and family chaos into a cultural phenomenon. Now they're back with Duck Dynasty, The Revival, following Willie and Korie Robertson as the family grows. The kids start their own lives, and the Duck Commander legacy just keeps evolving. The new season even opens with a tribute to Phil Robertson, while the rest of the clan brings plenty of the humor that fans remember. Joining us now are Willie and Korie Robertson. Great to see you both. It's great to see the Robertson family back on TV. What made this the right time to bring everyone together again?
Well, we kind of looked up and all of our kids were back. After the show ended in 2017, we had a really busy run, so we were ready to take a little break. And then all our kids scattered and went off to college and got married and all the things. And we looked up one day and all of our kids were here back home. We all live right there together on this little family compound, and our kids all work with us in some capacity up at Duck Commander within the warehouse. And so thought it'd be fun to kind of give the fans a little update into our life and where we are now.
When people first met your family, the kids were a lot younger. Now they're married, raising families, and starting businesses. What's it like watching the next generation step into the legacy?
Oh, man, it's been a blast. Yeah, for sure. We had... I think the main test was, do you want to be back on television? Because our kids had been on it, and so when they decided they would, we knew we didn't ruin them too bad. Well, watch them grow up, and our cast members have gotten way bigger because we have a lot more little kids and also all their spouses. And so, yeah, it's been fun watching kind of what they're going to do in life. And fortunately for us, they all ended up back here in Louisiana, and yeah, it's just been a joy. And then a lot of them have drifted to the office, and so yeah, it's kind of it's made for the kind of the next generation to see who's going to take it on. And you know, I didn't take over Duck Commander until I was 30. Grew up in the business, never saw myself working here. When I was 30, that's when Korie and I came back and actually started working full-time for the company. So they're right about the age to where we were, and we're going to see who's next potentially to jump into the business.
The premiere includes a tribute to Phil Robertson. What did that mean to honor him in that way?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because the week that the actual new series started, season 1, was the week that Phil actually passed away. And so it was literally a passing of the torch from Phil and that generation down to the next. And so we just thought it'd be awesome to start out season 2 honoring him. And we see some great parts of the show on there. I mean, it's like tons of real moments. And then also we had to kind of make it Robertson, and we had some tributes to Phil, some competitions like we like to do. Just a fun way to remember him, not only for us as a family as we go through the process of healing after he's passed on, but also for all the fans who's watched him for years and have really fallen in love with Phil and what he says. And yeah, to see him start off this show, it really was a tribute to the whole effort of even doing it. I mean, like Korie says, when we did that episode, it just felt like this is why we needed to come back and do the show.
Yeah, it was really special. The most special part to me was having Miss K on there. We actually got to sit down with an interview for her, and she got to just reminisce about Phil and what his life meant to her. So it was really, really special. I was nervous for her, but she did so good. And I know that we'll all be glad, our family will be glad to have that moment and that legacy captured.
When people watch this new season, what do you hope they take away from the Robertson family today?
I think we want people to just see real life and see that, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but we do all come together at the end of the day, around the table. I think that moment of the original Duck Dynasty is still happening for our family. And so it's in this season as well, that moment where we come around the table together. We thank God for what we have. We thank God for our blessings, and we forgive whatever grievances we might have or whatever fights we might have throughout that episode or that week. But I just think that's really important. I think that's what resonated with people the first time around, to see a family that isn't perfect but that loves each other, and to see people who put faith at the center of our lives. And that's who we are. It's what we do. It's what we've continued to do. And we hope that resonates with people.
Yeah, and I hope that they see how important our family is to us, and how much we intentionally pour into our family to keep us together, to share meals together, to share in each other's joys and bursts, but also the struggles and, when you're down. And so that's the importance of family. And that's why we made the show, is actually for other families as well, so that they can have another time to get together, spark a conversation, and just really promote family. And so our family has always stayed together through it all. And so it's so important and vital. And I think this show would help, hopefully help families get a little smile, but also remember how important family actually is.
I want to thank you two for joining me today. You can catch Duck Dynasty, the revival on A&E, with new episodes airing Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's also streaming on the A&E app and at anetv.com. Willie, Korie, thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Have you ever looked at your health coverage and thought, wait, what exactly does this plan cover? With 2026 underway, many people are starting to see the benefits, scheduling appointments, filling prescriptions, and trying to understand what's included. For people who qualify for both Medicare and Medicaid, these are plans designed to coordinate that coverage and sometimes even help with everyday expenses. Marian Cabanillas from UnitedHealthcare is here to walk us through how these dual special needs plans work. Welcome to the show, Marian. How are you, my friend?
I am great. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Thanks for joining us today. For viewers that may not be familiar with it, what exactly is a dual special needs plan, or DSNP, and who are these plans designed for?
Yes, thanks for asking. So dual special needs plans are also known as DSNPs, and they're for people that have both Medicare and Medicaid who may need additional help due to their income, a disability, or their health needs. I know sometimes coverage can feel complicated, especially if you're new to a DSNP plan. So this is all about getting to know how it works and where to go to get extra support. The good news is with a DSNP, you won't lose your Medicare or Medicaid coverage. In fact, DSNPs include additional support like care coordination to help you throughout the year.
Okay, one of the things you mentioned at care coordination, how does that help someone manage things like doctor visits or preventative care?
Great question. So most people that are eligible for DSNPs manage at least one chronic condition, and that's why care coordination is so important. Some examples of how care coordination can help: they can help you track with your doctor's appointments, they can support your medication needs, they can connect you to services like caregiver or housing support, and they can even help you stay current with preventive care, which is so important when it comes to helping catch healthcare issues early. Things these screenings, they're just so important. But I also want to remind people, now is a really good time to check in with your doctor. Go and schedule your annual wellness visit so that you can make sure that you stay healthy. And if you don't already have a primary care doctor, that's okay. Just contact your health plan and they can help connect you with a doctor that's in the network.
And some people may not realize these plans can actually support everyday needs. So what kind of additional help might be available?
Yes, that is true. This is where I think these DSNPs really shine. Not only do they include Medicare drug coverage, but many of the DSNP plans also offer additional benefits, things like vision and hearing screenings, dental checkups and cleanings. They can also cover things like rides to and from your doctor's visits. They can help with over-the-counter items like pain relievers. And for people that qualify due to chronic conditions, some of these plans can actually even help paying for healthy groceries or utility bills. The thing is that it's important for us to maintain our health and our independence. And in order to do that, you really need to know what's included in your coverage so you can take full advantage of your benefits.
And what are a few simple tips to help people better understand their coverage and really just make most of their DSNP plan?
Great question. First things first, review your plan materials. I know it's a lot of information, but it's really good stuff in there that'll help you understand how your plan works and what's covered. But you can also call the number on your health insurance card to learn more about your coverage. 3 things I like for folks to ask. 1, get your list of your preferred doctors and hospitals and make sure that they're all in network. 2nd, ask whether or not your prescriptions are covered. And 3rd, find out what benefits are available to you. The more that you know about how your plan works and what's covered, the more confident that you're going to be in using your healthcare benefits.
And if somebody wants to learn more or see if they might qualify, where can they go for more information?
Yes, they can visit getdual.com, and there they can learn more about how D-SNPs work. So again, it's getdual.com.
Marian, Cabanillas, I want to thank you for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Con la llegada de las vacaciones de primavera, muchas familias viajan al Caribe para disfrutar del sol y la playa. Pero hay algo muy importante que los viajeros deben de tener en cuenta. Hoy nos acompaña la doctora Sarai Rivera-Garcia. Bienvenida, doctora. Doctora, ¿qué es la peste porcina africana y por qué es tan importante hablar de este tema ahora?
La peste porcina africana es un virus bien contagioso y mortal para los cerdos. Es importante notar que este no afecta nuestra salud, la salud humana o la salud pública, pero sí afecta a los cerdos y puede ser devastador para la población de cerdos en Estados Unidos, para la industria de carne de cerdo y potencialmente para la economía.
Si alguien visita una granja o tiene contacto con un cerdo, ¿qué debe hacer antes de regresar a los Estados Unidos?
Si esta enfermedad llegara a los Estados Unidos, podría ser devastadora. Se estima que podríamos tener pérdidas de cerca de los 74 billones en 10 años si llegara esta enfermedad, ya que puede causar una disminución significativa en la población de cerdos y pérdidas en esta industria. Podría causar una disminución también en los suministros de carne de cerdo, aumentar los precios, también podría afectar la exportación. Estados Unidos es uno de los mayores exportadores de carne de cerdo del mundo y esto se podría ver afectado si entrara lo que es la peste porcina africana.
¿Qué productos de cerdo no deben traer los viajeros?
Sí, las personas cuando viajan a destinos internacionales o al Caribe no deben traer productos de carne de cerdo. Este virus sobrevive en esos productos, ya sea crudos o cocidos, y el traerlos podría traer el virus. Por eso que se prohíbe la entrada de la gran mayoría de los productos. Esto incluye tocino, tocineta, jamón, pasteles, lechón, todo lo que contenga carne de cerdo.
¿Dónde puede el público obtener más información?
Sí, el público puede obtener más información en nuestra página que es, la encuentran en www.afis.usda.gov/stopasf. Ahí van a poder encontrar la lista de esos productos prohibidos, incluyendo algunas excepciones. También van a encontrar alguna información sobre qué hacer cuando llegan al aeropuerto. Es bien importante que cuando pasamos por ese oficial de aduana, cuando estamos de vuelta en los Estados Unidos, declaremos no solo los productos de comida que traemos en nuestras maletas, en nuestros bultos, pero que también les dejemos saber si estuvimos visitando algún sitio donde hubiesen cerdos, para ellos entonces tomar las debidas precauciones.
Muchas gracias por venir a educarnos y que tenga buen día.
Muchas gracias, buen día.
Artificial intelligence used to feel like something out of a sci-fi movie, but now it's showing up in everyday life, from how we manage our health to how our home run. So, what's actually useful right now and what's just hype? So joining us today is technology expert Stephanie Humphrey, who helps people make sense of the latest tools and trends that is shaping daily life. And it's great to always have her. Stephanie, it's great to have you here today.
So good to be back, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we keep hearing about all this AI everywhere right now. When you look at everyday life, what are you actually seeing technology making things easier for people?
It truly can. I talk about tech on network TV all the time. And when I do, it's all about how you're saving time, how you're doing the things you already do a little more efficiently. Technology, AI can help you do that, whether we're talking about personal care, saving money, or upgrading your home. Today's smart innovations are truly designed to simplify your life. We just got to be willing to embrace them, that's all.
All right, so one area that people are always paying attention to is health and wellness. Are there any smart tools or tech innovations that are helping people stay on top of that a little easier?
Absolutely, because oral health plays a major role in overall wellness. And the Philips Sonicare 7100 removes up to 1,000% more plaque than a manual toothbrush and supports up to 600% healthier gums. It's expertly engineered with next generation Sonicare technology, delivering a personalized, effective clean, even in those hard to reach areas. It features a built-in pressure sensor to help protect your gums. You're going to get personalized brushing insights through the Sonicare app and a charging travel case for convenience. And with 4 brush modes and 3 intensity settings, it delivers a truly customized clean.
Okay, so let's talk about medication and maybe some of the healthcare costs for a second. How is technology helping people find their access more affordable prescriptions?
Well, technology is definitely helping people save money on prescription medications. GoodRx is an app and a website that makes it easy to find savings at up to 80% on both generic and brand name medications. You just search for your medication to compare the cost in real time and find the most affordable price at more than 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. So whether you have insurance or not, you can compare prices instantly. Plus, with GoodRx, you can access savings on all of those popular FDA-approved GLP-1s. Just visit goodrx.com/simple savings to learn more.
And what is one piece of tech right now that homeowners are starting to use that actually makes a noticeable difference day to day?
Yes, indeed, because every home should have a backup power solution because electricity bills are through the roof these days and the grid is less reliable than ever. So the Jackery Solar Generator 5000 Plus is how families are taking back control. This is the first home power that can replace your gas generator. It runs quietly inside your house, so no gas and no fumes. And unlike those traditional gas generators that are strictly outdoor only, this solar generator from Jackery is built for safe use inside your home, giving you true energy independence and security. So before all that summer peak pricing pops up with those air conditioners, now is a really great time to opt for all the benefits of green power.
I love home tech. And before we let you go, is there yet, maybe another smart tool that people might want to consider adding to their home?
I think so. And this one is really simple. If you're looking for a simple way to upgrade your house with tech, GE Smart Shades are easy to install and they can instantly transform your living space with a smart modern design. They're hand assembled in the USA and they feature whisper quiet motorized shades that snap in for a clean look. They come in white or gray. You can choose the blackout fabric for privacy or the light filtering fabric, but you get multiple size options. And to top it off, the GE Smart Shades are powered by easy to recharge magnetic batteries that you control them with the remote that comes with it, or you can use your Matter app, or you can just use your voice with Alexa or Google Home. And these are available at shop.gelighting.com.
Stephanie Humphrey, I always enjoy the tech that you bring to us. Where can we go for more information?
For more info on everything I talked about, just visit tipsontv.com.
Stephanie Humphrey, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Dan. Take care.
Have you ever wondered how investigators actually track down predators hiding behind a screen? Online crimes against children are one of the fastest growing threats, and the work to stop them often happens quietly through digital clues, undercover conversations, and long investigations. A new investigative series gives viewers a rare look inside those operations. Detective Tony Gowin leads the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force in North Texas and has worked nearly 7,000 cases over a 30-year career. Detective Gowin joins us now. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I am great. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
So your team investigates crimes that start online but can have real consequences. What does a typical case look like from the first digital clue to the moment someone is arrested?
I mean, it really evolves rapidly. That's the one thing that I think the audience is going to notice, how quickly things happen and how quickly things escalate. But from the moment we put ourselves in this situation in an undercover capacity and the elements of the crime are met, which doesn't take long at all, like it's so fast and so quick, then it takes me and my entire team to put together all the steps necessary, legal process, and put all the affirmative links back together to figure out where this person is, who this person is, and then get ready for a takedown and hopefully a good arrest.
In the series, we see undercover operations where investigators pose as minors online. What goes into building those cases and making sure the evidence holds up in court?
I mean, people need to remember that everything that we do in an undercover capacity is based on what we know has happened to a real child. Unfortunately, children are exploited every single day online. And as a result, those reports get made and sent to us, and those are called reactive cases. So we know where they go. We know how they're talking. We know what they're doing, and we know what's happening to them. So we base everything we do in the undercover world just like that. We just put ourselves out there. Once it happens, once the communications start, which does not take long at all. And then once those elements go is when we move forward with all the legal process to get things tied together in a nice big bow on top of it, and hopefully ends with a great arrest and a successful prosecution.
And you've worked nearly 7,000 cases during your career. How has the way predators online changed over the years?
Well, we saw a big increase during the COVID time. I will tell you that. We were forcing our children online and into school environments in an online capacity. And so we were just generally pushing everybody online because of our COVID scare and the things that were going around that. And so at the end of the day, it's like a pleasure paradise playground for these predatory types who are already in these platforms and doing what they're doing. And so they had a target-rich environment in front of them. So it has increased. And so also awareness has increased over time, but I'm hopeful it's going to increase even more with the show that's come out on A&E, because we want that intentionality. We want people to know. We want to raise the awareness level of the average person who maybe has some knowledge of this, but doesn't really understand the gravity of what it is. And you're going to see this highlighted in the show. Obviously, it ends with a nice high five moment when we put people in cuffs and we arrest them. And that's a very satisfying, rewarding part of the process.
And for parents that might be watching this at home, what are some of the warning signs that a child might be interacting with someone dangerous online?
Yeah, that's a really good question. First and foremost, I would say pay attention to the behavior changes. You know your child better than anybody. So if you have a child who's an A student that comes down to a C or a D student, then at the end of the day, you know something's going on. Maybe their friend group has changed a little bit. Maybe they're normally very outgoing, but all of a sudden they're really introverted. That could be a red flag that something's going on. Secondly, I would say know how to access your kid's device. Know the passcodes. Know the platforms they go to. Know that some of the platforms have their own passcodes that might be different from the code to get into the phone. Educate yourself about what they're doing and how they're doing it. Being intentional over time, not a one-time deal. This isn't I get to go look one time and then back out of it. If you need to use monitoring software to help with that, then do that. I'm a big proponent of that. But you need to be very intentional. You need to lean in. You need to have constructive, age-appropriate conversations with your kiddo so that at the end of the day, if something does happen, that child's going to come to you or a trusted adult and say, hey, I'm in a pickle, I've done something, or this is what's happened, I need some help. And you already have a path of what's going to happen to get that child back on a good restorative path.
And the show gives viewers a behind-the-scenes look at your task force and the work that you do every day. What do you hope people understand better after watching these investigations play out?
I mean, take into account, there's a little bit of shock and a little bit of awe. Most people are going to notice because after the first show came out last week, my phone almost melted with all these comments and questions about how graphic these predators are and how quickly things escalate. And that is reality. And so I think they're going to take away that, but I think they're also going to have this awareness level that has just increased exponentially. I think they're going to learn from some takeaways that are going to be highlighted on the show, that what they can do and what if something has happened, what if something's already happened. There's a lot of resources that are available to them. And I think they're going to enjoy the entertainment side of it, which is the arrest or the takedown. Those are all really great moments. And I'm really happy to be a part of the program with A&E.
Detective Gowin, I want to thank you for joining me today. You can watch Predator Hunters Thursdays on A&E, and episodes are also available to stream on the A&E app and ANETV.com. Detective Tony Gowin, I really want to thank you for joining us today.
I really appreciate your time. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to your audience. Thank you so much.
Spring officially begins March 20th, and for a lot of people, that seasonal shift is the perfect excuse to refresh their home and maybe their routines. From bold color options to simple styling tricks, there are plenty of ways to create a high-end look without spending a fortune. So joining us today is Lauren Makk, lifestyle expert, interior designer, and TV host you may recognize from HGTV's Trading Spaces and Design Star Next Gen. Welcome to the show, Lauren. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thank you for having me.
You know, spring always seems to bring that urge to reset. What is it about this season that makes people want to change things up at home and in their daily routines?
Well, spring is the ultimate season to reset and to renew everything that doesn't seem to be working in our lives. The light is changing, our schedules are shifting, and suddenly we're seeing our home and our habits a lot more clearly. I've done some massive makeovers over on Urban Oasis and Smart Home, and what I've learned is that oftentimes it's the smaller, smart, strategic shifts that make a big difference when it comes to improving everyday life. Spring is just the perfect checkpoint to reset, to refocus, and then to upgrade with intention.
A lot of spring projects involve climbing up to clean paints or swap things out. What are some smart ladder safety tips people should be keeping in mind before they start those projects?
I'm so glad you asked. March is National Ladder Safety Month, led by the American Ladder Institute, and it's a timely reminder that no design upgrade is worth a preventable injury. So many accidents happen during everyday tasks, so it's really important that you take just a few extra seconds to stay safe. It's important to choose the right ladder for the job, inspect it before each use, make sure that it's set on a stable, firm surface, and then to climb it safely. For more tips and ways that you can get involved, visit laddersafetymonth.com.
So if somebody out there wants one simple reset that will make a noticeable difference this spring, where would you start?
Yes, certainly. Well, spring is all about fresh starts, and for me, nothing resets my mind faster than a getaway. I love Wyndham Hotels and Resorts because they make travel so easy. With brands like Wyndham Ultra, Wyndham Grand, and Registry Collection Hotels, there's truly something for each and every type of traveler. Plus, their award-winning Wyndham Rewards program adds serious value. And right now, during their Member Month celebration, you can earn up to 4 free nights, which makes this a fantastic time to plan ahead and to save. Head over to wyndhamrewards.com/membermonth and you can check out all of these details.
And you often talk about affordable luxury. Where are you seeing that show up in homes right now for spring?
Oh gosh, I'm so glad you asked. Indoor. Okay, let's talk about indoor. For spring 2026, it's all about sensory calm. That means less visual clutter and more intentional peace. I'm seeing lots of warm, dimmable lighting, natural materials like travertine and pale oak and brushed linen even. Lots of tone on tone when it comes to color palettes. And there's also a big shift toward low, grounded furniture with rounded edges, things that make the space feel softer and more restorative. I like to say, think of a spa, but make it livable. To me, that's what affordable luxury is all about.
So is there like a 2026 trend that you're excited about that people could actually try themselves? Something stylish, but still doable.
Yes, well, I told you about indoors. Now let's take you outdoors. And outdoors, spring 2026, the biggest trend is an outdoor microzone. So instead of one big patio setup, people are creating small, intentional moments. Say a cafe corner with a bistro table over here, or a hammock reading nook, or even a fire feature flanked by sculptural outdoor chairs. Another big shift I'm seeing is bring some of that design element from the inside out, which is really easy to do by elevating your everyday outdoor materials. So consider concrete side tables or even outdoor mirrors that reflect light. All of this just makes your backyard feel like an extension of your home and gives it that designer touch. You know what I mean?
I got you. And if people want more tips or ideas for their own spring refresh, where can they go for more information?
Certainly, just go to tipsontv.com.
Lauren Makk, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in and checking us out here on New Mexico Rising. If you're a fan of the show and want to know what's going on behind the scenes, follow us on social media. We're at New Mexico Rising on Facebook and Instagram. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Mexico Rising. Thank you again for joining us right here on New Mexico Rising.